welcome back to The Late Show. Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest this evening is the junior senator from Pennsylvania. Please welcome back to The Late Show, Senator John Fetterman.
Yeah.
Senator, it's always good to talk. I've been talking to you since you were a mayor, and it's always good to have you back on the show. Now, before we get into it, I just want to say it's good to see you recovered so well. You're continuing recovery from the stroke you had a while back.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
And before we jump in, let's explain to the people, the audience here, the tech that you're using for this conversation, which we used last time as well. What are we doing?
Yeah, no, it's a tool, and it's just captioning. No different than a lot of the people watching your show might be using captioning at home on TV.
Great. So we got 2 weeks left before the election. Harris and Trump are duking it out in Pennsylvania. Basically, they're running to be president of Pennsylvania at this point. How do you appeal to the people of Pennsylvania? What's it take to win there?
Oh, no, I don't give anybody advice, except on fashion.
What's that advice?
And that's the thing.
Keep it loose?
Of course, but no, it's like I don't really, I'm not going to mansplain things to the vice president. She's run a magnificent kind of campaign. It's always going to be very close, and here we are right now. And anyone watching this, I would just tell them, please don't waste time trying, why is somebody going to vote for Trump? Well, I don't understand that. It's like, well, it's more important to just realize that it's going to happen. And in Pennsylvania, there's a lot of energy on that side. But the best news is that there's that same kind of energy, or even more, for Harris on the ground there. And that's why I'm going around all across Pennsylvania and a lot of those red counties, those that can make the difference, and jamming up those kinds of red counties that we can't let Trump win by those large margins.
No, you upended norms of as you might say, how politicians look on the campaign trail, the use of memes and jokes and answers that definitely do not seem like they've been focus grouped before you give them. And I was hoping we could get some pure, uncut Senator John Fetterman reaction to the fact that this race with these two candidates is still so damn close. How do you feel about that?
I'm feeling that it's like I'm not worried about that. I'm not fretting. I'm really committed to make sure that it's like we have to fight for every last vote across those counties like that. People need to understand that it's going to come down to a coin toss on that. And the last people that haven't decided, it's going to be that gut check kind of a vote right now. And I think a majority of people are going to say, hey, I cannot allow that to go back. And I'm going to move forward with Kamala Harris.
Well, you're endorsing Kamala Harris and Governor Tim Walz. Donald Trump's running mate is J.D. Vance. You've worked with Senator Vance for the last couple of years in the Senate. From what you know from working with him, how do you feel about the idea that he would be one heartbeat away from the presidency?
Yeah, no, I mean, PG-13 kind of a thing.
No, you can go hard R.
Vance is he's just kind of a wang. It's like I know the Republicans are trying to act like that was already part of that was the plan. But like people quickly realize that he's just a wang, and now that's the.
They're trying to pretend that the plan was for him to be a wang.
No, he just is going to go around to offend people. It's like no, like people already have decided that that's the kind of guy who he is, and that's the only card he has left to play. And going around and offending people and saying terrible things about immigrants or these other kinds of untruths, even saying that he refuses to allow Trump, that he lost 2020 on those kinds of things.
Well, I can't imagine the people in Pennsylvania were thrilled about this. This was a CBS News. My colleagues over at CBS News reported J.D. Vance orders cheesesteak at Pat's King of Steaks in Philadelphia, questions the lack of Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
How did that go over?
You know, it's like there's a lot of pandering going on there across Pennsylvania, and you know that's an example when pandering goes ugly on that.
Yes.
It goes bad. And if you walk in there and you ask for Swiss, I mean, any chance for any kind of Philly cred, it destroyed. Like it could not be more awkward. I don't think anyone's ever asked for Swiss on a cheesesteak in Pennsylvania anywhere.
Also, a major Senate race happening.
Well, can I talk? I mean, like talking about when pandering goes badly.
Yes.
You know, in Western Pennsylvania, in Latrobe, when Donald Trump show up for.
Yes.
And now it's like Latrobe. You could talk about that's where Mr. Rogers was born, or where they invented the banana split. You know,
or Rolling Rock.
Yeah, and he decides to talk about Arnold Palmer's, ding-a-ling. I mean, it's really kind of strange kinds of, that's when pandering just goes bad.
Yeah. Did you know that about Arnold Palmer's Wang? Did you know that? 'Cause I didn't know that.
I do now. I do now.
Exactly.
I do now.
We all know that now.
But it's just part of how strange it is, and this kind of the way pandering has gone, and now we have another race now too. The Connecticut man, he's running for the Senate, and that didn't go well in my.
McCormick, David McCormick.
Yeah, Connecticut.
He's from
man.
Connecticut.
Yeah, he shows up at an Eagles game.
We have this.
Yeah.
We actually have
Oh,
this.
you have
we
that?
have this.
You have that? Oh, yeah.
He actually tweeted this. He said, "Fun tailgate in Philly today," and he's with a lot of Phillies fans, and he says, "Excited to watch the Steelers."
Yeah.
But he spelled Steelers right. That's one thing.
Yeah, no, it's like it's like in terms of that kind of pandering, he actually he got confused with Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, with Philadelphia, Mississippi. So yeah.
We have to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more. Senator John Fetterman, everybody, stick around.